You started a company putting in your blood, sweat, and tears for 9 years straight, and all of that just to get fired. This setback, this heartbreak, all of it due to one bad business decision. One decision that was about to decide the fate of the company that is worth $3 trillion right now. Yes, I'm talking about Apple. Let's dive back in time. 1970s. Steve Jobs, a passionate young man interested in computers and electronics. He applied for an internship at HP and worked for a few months. He was naturally good at design. The good sense of design was going to take him far in his future. While the computer world was in its early stages back then, Steve Jobs knew that there is an opportunity. Everybody was busy making a specialized computer, while Steve, he was working to build a computer that is so easy to use that it can be used by everybody. With that vision, he started Apple. In 1976, he, along with his two friends, Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne, started out Apple. Jobs handled the design part, Wozniak did the technical stuff, and Ronald Wayne, well, he just lost money, we can say. That's the best intro line he can possibly have. I'll explain how. Ronald Wayne was the one who designed this first logo of Apple and looked at the whole branding aspect of Apple, the logo, the media presence, and related things. He had 10% of Apple at that time, but he left just after 10 days with his $800 worth of shares. He took that $800 and left. Now, just to hype it up, I would say that if he just left his 10% as it is and left Apple, it would have been worth $300 billion right now. But hey, only fools would say that. That doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of dilution, that is reduction in your percentages while new investors come in, a lot of selling of shares, a lot of buybacks and whatnot. So the next time anybody tells you that, just ignore. But yeah, he would have had shares worth $300 billion. Yeah, just ignore. Two friends, both Steves, continued to work hard and in some years built their first computer. They named it Apple I. They were super pumped for its launch and received a purchase order of 50 units, which they had sold at $500 a unit at that time. To fulfill this order and produce these 50 units, Jobs had to seek for an investment because both Jobs and Wozniak didn't have large sums of money at that time. They were just starting out. Jobs took up a small investment of $250,000 and fulfilled that order. After that order was fulfilled, both Steves were sure of what they were doing since they got validation from the market that there is a need in the market of the thing they are building. They started production for the Apple II and Lisa. Both the projects didn't do quite well because the things that they were innovating were for the future, and people thought that those products were just too gimmicky and have no use case whatsoever. And of course, they were priced pretty high. The graphical user interface, the thing that we are using right now, came from Apple. Earlier, to select a certain object on your screen, you had to give certain commands to the computer to give its X and Y coordinates to reach to that point you want to click on. But Steve Jobs had a vision of straight away pointing out to that particular point you want to click on.
If I want to tell you there's a spot in your shirt, I point to the spot.
For that, introducing the mouse. When mouse was introduced, people were again skeptical of it, that why would somebody need a mouse to navigate if we have these commands to do certain tasks on the computer. But that's where the visionary thing comes. You think about the things that people wouldn't even imagine. That's what Steve Jobs did. With extremely innovative products and the approach to build them, Jobs knew he was up to something. But since he was young, he didn't really know how to run a company. That's when he approached a man who had served as the CEO of Pepsi. This man was renowned in the business world. He met John Scully. He told him what they are trying to build at Apple and where are they now. Steve Jobs asked him, "Do you want to sell sugar water or come with me and change the world?" Who would say a no to such a statement? And that's what Scully did.
Come be our CEO.
Yeah, okay.
Scully was welcomed on board as the CEO of Apple and he resigned from Pepsi. Steve Jobs now had the CEO, a robust tech team, a driven co-founder in Wozniak, and all of that with a crystal clear vision to change the world through technology. The product development was going well. Every department was functioning well and the CEO was also doing his part of the work as required. But something wasn't adding up. Everything was going well except the numbers, the profits. All the things come down to that. No matter how innovative your products are, sales are important because numbers are important for a business. The profits were declining and nobody was buying the Macintosh at the price it was introduced at, $2,500. It was too expensive at that point and is still expensive right now, since Jobs was not really worried about the current number performance because he had a crystal clear vision for Apple. He did not agree at the price of the Macintosh and asked John Scully to lower the price point to something that's under $2,000 or $1,500. But Scully, as a responsible CEO, obviously cared about how companies should make a profit rather than selling those computers at a loss or at a relatively less margin. He was right on his part, we can say, but as he wasn't a founder, he didn't really know where the vision of the brand is. The disagreement between Jobs and Scully led to a dispute and the board members were involved in this. John Scully asked another board member to take a detailed report from the employees about the current processes in the business and how do they like working at Apple at the current stage with less funds and more work. The report was made and it was obviously clear that everybody was afraid about the condition of the company. Jobs told Scully to reduce the price point in his usual arrogant tone and Scully didn't like it at all.
It's overpriced.
There's no evidence that it's...
I'm the evidence. I'm the world's leading expert in the Mac, John. What's your resume?
John Scully said that either Steve stays or me. It was the time for a decision. It was the time for a divide and rule.
I'm perfectly willing to hand in my resignation tonight, but if you want me to stay, you can't have Steve.
It was the decision of the board of directors now. Scully asked the board to vote for the decision of where should the company go and whose opinion or direction they agreed to. Everybody, literally everybody, was in favor of Scully. Nobody voted in favor for Jobs, and unanimously, Jobs was fired from Apple as the chairman. He was still the largest shareholder of Apple at that time, but was still fired from his own company. This was devastating, and Scully says that he still remembers how emotionally attached Steve Jobs was with this decision. He respected him as the founder of the company and the vision he had, but he says that it was the right decision on his part because since Apple is a publicly listed company, the shaky revenue and profit numbers would scare off the investors and would harm the brand image of Apple. From a financial standpoint, Scully was in a way right, but from a visionary standpoint as a founder, Jobs was right. But despite of all the blood, sweat and tears that went into building a company from scratch for 9 straight years, the founder was removed from the company. The founder, who was about to change the world, was removed from the company as he lost control of the decision-making power to the CEO and the board. That was the downfall of Steve Jobs in that era. But you would say, if Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, how is he still presenting the iPhone in its launch in 2007? How did he come back at Apple? How did he come out of his downfall and was called back at Apple? Called back to serve as the CEO once again after a few years. The next part would be about that, how Steve Jobs was called back at Apple again. If you like this video and the style of it, drop a like and share this video to help our community grow. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and help me reach a goal of 250 subscribers by the end of March 2022. Let's grow this community together. Subscribe. If you want to be a part of our private Discord community, link is in the description. See you in there. Want to come and say hi on my social media? Links are in the description as well. If you like this video, there are amazing videos on this channel. You should definitely check them out. I would personally recommend this video. Go check it out. It is amazing. So that was it for this video, and I'll see you guys on the other side.